Well, hello and welcome to episode 576 of the Plane Talking UK podcast. I'm Carlos, and in this week's show, no more turbulence as Emirates makes a major change to reduce the risk of bumpy flights. Ryanair begin hiring pilots for their 737 MAX 10 deliveries, and we'll be discussing the tragic accident of the UPS MD-11 that crashed in Louisville yesterday. In the military, the US Air Force says it needs 1,500 more fighters to meet future threats, and we'll have the usual retro airline ad of the week segment, and we'll have more details of our 600th show, which is taking place on Friday, the 22nd of May next year. We've also got a caption this as well for you this week, and this week it's quite the amusing picture. So, joining me from across the glens, the dales, the rivers of the UK, is, of course, the legend that is Neville Bounds.
Yes, hello everybody. Hope everybody is doing well. Those keen-eyed amongst you may notice a change of picture behind me. That's because my very nice kids bought me a Concorde print for my birthday last Saturday. And just by complete fortuitousness, if that's even a word, it is the exact aircraft that I flew on back in 1978. So that's Golf Bravo Oscar Alpha Bravo, which is currently sitting in Heathrow, rather unloved, unfortunately. But at least I can see it behind me when it was looking nice and operational, more importantly. So yeah, that was good. But yeah, it's been a good week, quite busy, lots of stuff going on. I was in Duxford all day yesterday, negotiating hotels and dinners and space requirements and events for the 600th show. That all went very well. I'll tell you more about that a bit later on in the show.
Well, nice to see you as always, Nev, and thanks for joining us on the show tonight. And love the picture, by the way, Nev. Love that. You had a good birthday.
I did, yes, and I've even bought a new shirt by Mrs. Nev, which I'm wearing tonight.
Ooh.
From the world famous Charles Tyrwhitt range. And we like his shirts. He does a good shirt, that fella, definitely. And then I went out. We went out for lunch last Saturday at our local pub. All the kids, grandkids, and everybody else. There's 9 of us there, which was nice. I had to pay, obviously. I thought someone might have paid for me, being it was my birthday, but no, you know. That's what it is.
Even I brought Gemma a lemonade on Sunday when it was her birthday at the pub. Oh. It may have contained gin, but I definitely brought her a lemonade as well.
Yeah.
So joining us, we've got no Andy this week. Andy has literally just got back from a very long trip across the pond, hasn't he?
Yes.
So he's got a slight bit of jet lag. Matt's out doing other duties this evening, but joining us back again by popular demand, it is, of course, the guy who sits in the background on our shoulder yelling at us every now and again. It is, of course, producer John. Hello, John.
Hello. So, as it happens, my tech is not quite working today, so you can't see me moving just yet, but I am here.
We can't see you at all. Where are you?
Oh, you can't see me at all?
Nev is there. Oh, there he is.
There we go.
Back,
okay.
Yeah.
Right. Excellent. Well, it's great to be back. Thank you for having me back on the show. I need to change backgrounds, don't I?
I don't know. It's not a bad background. It's a bit sort of light green. How would you? I'd say like a greeny, bluey colour.
Yeah, it looks kind of teal, is it? Or
yeah, something like that. Yeah,
something like that.
But
we'll change it to match the to match the what do you call it, the graphic for this week's show.
Anyway, how's life been with you then, John? We've not had you on for a little while.
Yeah, fantastic. The day job's keeping me busy. I've been doing a whole lot of study for the last couple of weeks. Well, actually, kind of the last 2 or 3 months, and that has kept me busy. Kept my head down in the books, and spent a little bit of promotion, a little bit of new challenges within the work. But there we go.
But But you're finished now.
Yeah, but we're finished now. Well, for now, it's going to still be another maybe 4 or 5 weeks of training, all going well later on. But that's not for another 2 or 3 months or so. So,
we wish you all the best. I'm sure you'll pass.
Thank you.
We know what you're like. You pass. You'll be good.
Thank you. That's appreciated.
But Nev, top of the show, we've got a little bit of kind of cheat news, kind of breaking kind of ish news, haven't we, Nev?
Yeah, I mean, this is something that I'd hardly ever used when I was working, but Seat Guru is no more, apparently. After nearly 2 decades of helping travellers choose the best and avoid the worst seats in the sky, the popular Seat Guru website has closed down. SeatGuru.com now redirects visitors to parent company and travel colossus TripAdvisor, which in 2007 bought Seat Guru from founder Matt Daimler for an undisclosed sum. Well, the frequent flyer himself, Daimler, created Seat Guru in 2001, transforming his own first-hand notes and spreadsheets into a website with colour-coded seat maps and pop-up details covering the different planes flown by airlines around the world. The acquisition should have had plenty of upside for TripAdvisor, which at the time was itself an arm of Expedia in targeting travel-minded audience. Well, a lot of my former work colleagues used to use Seat Guru extensively, but I didn't really use that at all. But I know a lot of people have done in the past.
I'm not surprised, Nev. Why would you use Seat Guru if the seat you sit in every flight is Seat 1A?
Seat 1A.
That's the way I look at it. But, you know, I did like to have a poke around, see what was going on. But, so quite a big moment there, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to travel a lot when I was younger, and I used Seat Guru all the time because we were doing big international trips, trying to seat the family together, trying to have the best seats where there were nice quiet areas in the cabin, and I'm gonna miss that one. It was getting a little bit inaccurate for the last couple of years, though, I have to say. I definitely wasn't being updated by TripAdvisor, which is rather unfortunate.
Yeah, I used it more for long haul flights than anything else, and I thought it was quite handy. I used to love it when it used to say seat can be quite bothersome as close proximity to lavatories or galley.
And noisy cabin crew. I mean, that would never happen on one of John's flights. I realise that, but, you know, that can happen on other brands of airline.
But no, sad to see it go. And they all get snapped up by the big boys in the end, don't they? Right.
Well, there's a space in the market there for anyone who wants to set up another website and manage it. Big job. But I think there is a gap in the market for it. Or if anyone knows any other websites that are like kind of similar to Seat Guru, that do similar things, let us know in the chat room.
Yeah. Right, Mr. Bounds, it's the top of the month, and it's time to say a special thank you to some special people.
It is, yes. And of course, as you know, the cost of running the show gets more expensive every year, unfortunately, but we are very grateful to our regular donators on Patreon and PayPal that help us offset some of those costs. And this month on the Patreons, it's from Richard Adams, Derek Smith, Bill Aronek, Sam Dawson, Alex Robinson, Dirk S, Sasha Beer, Stephen Ivey, Nick Codling, Lewis Kajares, Alan White, Stephen Howland, Tanya Wyman, Nicholas Hewitt, Masha Hirtz, Ruben Wells, Neil Landwarn, Graham Haley, Jonathan Warner, Jordan Rose, Andrew Wilson, Captain Jeff, Adam Spink, Liz Piper, Jeff Ward, Stuart Backer, Stephanie Plummer, Carl S. in New Jersey, and John Falk. And in the PayPal category, we have Jennifer Parkinson and Mazuz Kareem. Thank you to one and all of you for your fantastic monthly donations. We really appreciate it. And it really does help, as I say, offset some of the costs of running the show.
Yes, thank you to everyone who has donated again this month, to you all. Much appreciated. And it definitely helps to push the show forward, and also is helping very much indeed towards getting things ready for our big show, the 600th next year. More details on that later on. Right, going to say hello to the chat room this evening. Let's start at the top of the list. Mazoos, hello to you tonight. Good to see you in there. We have got Richard Adams, says evening all. John Main, hello to you. Nice to see you in there this week. Tanya, the lovely Tanya. Hello, Tanya. Good to see you in there. Travelly Man. We've got a new face in the chat room tonight. I'm going to say hello to Travelly Man. First time in the chat room, listening live, usually listens in the car with Spotify. So lovely to see you in there, Travelly Man. Thanks for joining us on the live show tonight. Dirk S. Wouldn't be the chat room without Dirk in there, would it really? We have got John Jester, says hello everyone. I expect John's in some glamorous hotel somewhere. Bill, hello to Bill. He says hello all, happy Wednesday. We've got, let me scroll up, make sure. Tracy D says evening guys. Hello Tracy. Sturman, hello Sturman, great to see you in there. He's been looking at all the grey stuff in the skies this week. He has old Sturman. The lovely Masha is also in there. Good evening to you. Hobby Time, hello, good to see you. Who else to make sure I don't miss anyone? Alan White, our resident Irish listener, Alan White, he is in there as well. Master of None, been a few weeks, hope we're all doing wonderfully. Thank you, Master of None, good to see you in there this week. And everyone who's joined us tonight, thanks for joining us on the show. Don't forget, if you're listening to us as an audio show, we are on YouTube every Wednesday at 7 o'clock here. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when we're live recording new episodes, just like we are right now. Right, going to leave it to you, Nev, to introduce the first part of the show.
Yes, we've got a lot to get through tonight, so hope you're ready for it. First up is the commercial news segment.
Turn on the seatbelt light. Please take your seats and fasten your seatbelts.
First story comes to us from metro.co.uk, and the headline is "No More Turbulence no more turbulence as airlines make major change to reduce risk of bumpy flights." If you're a nervous flyer who can't bear the thought of turbulence, you might want to book yourself onto an Emirates flight. It might seem like a fantasy to be able to enjoy your onboard Coke and Pringles without so much as a bump, but the famous luxury airline is about to change all that. The carrier is in the early stages of trialling a range of new initiatives which should minimise the impact of unexpected turbulence. In a recent press release, Emirates detailed how it's employing the use of AI to offer the smoother, stress-free flights. Specifically, Emirates is using different kinds of weather prediction tech and pairing it with turbulence data collected during flights. They're also focusing on how they can identify turbulence areas and hotspots that conventional methods typically miss. The airline is also sending its pilots on IATA's Turbulence Awareness Programme. Didn't know that existed, Nev. Pilots are put in scenarios where they need to make real-time decisions. This kind of practice can help them when they're on the job. The idea is that rather than feeling pressure to keep the seatbelt sign on for the entire flight, pilots who take part in the programme should feel more confident to make decisions and stick with it. Captain Hassan Al-Hamadi, Divisional Senior Vice President, Flight Operations at Emirates, said, "While we cannot promise turbulence-free flights, these initiatives have contributed to significant reduction in unexpected severe turbulence incidents over the past year, helping make journeys safer and more comfortable for our customers." I think that's a good idea, Nev. It's another use for AI.
Like it. And maybe they could extend it to... Oh, I'm going to get shot down for this, I realise. But maybe to the American crews that just love putting the seatbelt on at the slightest hint of a wobble in their coffee or a bit of light chop, whereas the BA going across the pond, they'll let it go for quite a long time before they put the seatbelt on. I don't know if it's just my experience, but that's what it seems to be anyway to me. But on a serious note, though, actually, if this makes it more sensible for the rest of the passengers and also the cabin crew as well, I think that's a good thing, because the worst thing is although Emirates, of course, most of their flights are medium to long haul, the worst thing is if you're in the middle of a dinner service and you've got to sit down and get the crew to sit down as well. That just delays everything, and it just must mess up the whole schedule. So I think it's a good idea, actually.
But we all know that the rule is, even when you're sitting down in your seat in cruise, it's always best to keep your seatbelt on, Nev.
Yes, I always do. Because you never know. I think it's you might pick up a bit of clear air turbulence or something unexpected that the radar won't show.
This will make things easier for you, John, wouldn't it? I think.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fantastic initiative, and it's all being, I don't think it says it in that article, but it's all being kind of driven by Lido Weather, which is a Lufthansa Systems piece of software. So this is something that's actually coming out of Lufthansa, and it's not unique to Emirates. I mean, Emirates are using it in a slightly unique way in how they're how they are trialing AI and the employment of that. But it is hopefully going to roll out across so many more airlines and so many more operators, and that will just increase the amount of data that's getting fed into this system and increase its efficiency and increase its accuracy. So it's a fantastic use of technology and fantastic development, I think.
Yeah. And hopefully it will stop all the incidents that we see every now and again where people tend to lose, I say the aircraft tends to lose overhead panels within people, which is not a good thing. Right, moving on. Next story. And Nev, you got this one?
I'm going to take this one.
You got this one, John.
Yep. So we've got Jet2 voted as the most reliable airline in the UK with a 0.02% cancellation rate and 67.4% of on-time arrivals in 2024. Jet2 became the most reliable airline to fly with in the UK, according to AirAdvisor, an air passenger rights company. The result has concluded after examining nearly 1.5 million flights across 2023 and 2024 to reveal the carriers are least likely to see delays. Jet2 was crowned the UK's most reliable airline for the second year. EasyJet secures the second position with its dependable performance, and that airline has a cancellation rate of 1.1%, followed by Virgin Atlantic with an on-time rate of 70.5%. Now, UK flag carrier British Airways came in fourth with a 2.4% cancellation rate across 354,000 flight operations, while the Blue Islands ranks fifth with an on-time rate of 70% and a cancellation of 4.3%. According to AirAdvisor, the weeks from mid-December to early January are consistently among the most delay-prone periods in aviation, with weather, air traffic congestion, and strike action amplifying disruption risk. And the aviation expert Anton Radchenko at AirAdvisor said, as Christmas travel ramps up, reliability becomes more than just a number. It is the key to keeping holidays intact. And what we're seeing in this data is that size doesn't always equal a reliability. Jet2, for instance, operates fewer routes than EasyJet or British Airways, but achieves cancellation rates that are virtually zero. Now, this is great, but I'm not entirely sure that you could really compare some of these airlines with each other. With the way that Virgin Atlantic operate versus EasyJet versus British Airways and Blue Islands in there as well. They are all kind of very, very, very different operations. And Yeah. Now, that being said, Jet2 has a quite varied operation. So I think they kind of still win in my eyes. If they are the rates and those numbers are accurate, that's pretty astounding. A 0.02% cancellation rate. 67.4% of on-time arrivals. I think that could be challenged by some other airlines. Perhaps not necessarily British home airlines. But yeah, I think that has a little bit of a room for improvement. But definitely, if you don't want your flight cancelled, Jet2 are who are the people are to go with.
And if you don't mind that song
sentence.
going round and round in your head for days and days and days.
Also, I mean, people like, Blue Islands, for example, I mean, because they're doing regional operations in the Channel Islands, they will suffer more with weather issues than anybody else, probably, as well. So it's a bit difficult, as you say, John, to compare like with like across this survey, isn't it?
Yeah. But I mean, you know what? These numbers are still they're still useful data. They are still useful for consumers, for customers. And I think there is a certain amount of people who will be looking at that and going, actually, yeah, I might fly with Jet2 because they're the least likely to be disruptive to my holidays and well-earned holidays at that.
I've yet to fly with Jet2. Not, do you know? And that's the true. We have not flown with Jet2 yet. EasyJet, Ryanair, all the other carriers, but still haven't flown with Jet2 yet. That's probably because our nearest Jet2 would be. I don't think they fly from Stansted.
Not
Jet2 fly
sure.
from Stansted?
Yes, I think I do. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, probably not to Malta though. That's the problem.
Oh yeah, maybe not.
Right, Nev, and this week's show is not sponsored by Emirates, even though this next story is about Emirates.
Yes, a bit of finger wagging going on here from the Emirates president, Tim Clark. It's on aviation A to Z.com. And it says that Tim Clark has voiced his frustration after discovering through the media rather than direct communication that Boeing now expects first deliveries of the 777-9 aircraft in 2027. The carrier's major wide-body order faces another delay as Boeing confirmed it needs at least all of 2026 to complete certification. Clark said that he had recently met Boeing executives in New York and Seattle, and at no point had they indicated that the target delivery year was shifting to 2027. According to Aviation Week, Emirates holds a large commitment to Boeing's 777X family, with firm orders for 35 units of the Dash 8 and 170 units of the Dash 9. The original contract set an October 2025 date for the first aircraft, a deadline which has now been clearly missed. As Boeing now projects a service entry into 2027, Clark and his team must adjust fleet planning timelines and operational strategies accordingly. Because of repeated delays, Emirates in early 2024 froze and redesigned its 777-9 cabin layouts. Well, the airline supplier for seats, galleys and entertainment systems have been working intensively to meet the specifications for the header version, the first example of Emirates' bespoke aircraft interior. The heart of Tim Clark's grievance lies less in the delay itself than in how it was communicated. When you say 2027, do you mean January or December? I'm a little bit miffed, he said. Clark argued that Emirates should have been briefed first rather than learning of the shift through media channels. He also added that the FAA certification work continues despite US government shutdown and urged Boeing to maintain full transparency on the process. He expressed concern that the uncertainty surrounding the 777-9 delivery makes it difficult to coordinate with suppliers and finalise timelines for integration into the fleet. With interior production and equipment supply chains already synchronised to the earlier dates, the delay now risks causing costly schedule disruptions. With the 777X programme slipping again, Emirates must keep its older aircraft flying for longer and accelerate cabin refurbishment efforts to sustain product standards. Clark has also renewed calls for Boeing to commit to develop the proposed 777-10, a stretched version roughly 150 inches longer than the Dash 9 and offering 5 to 6 additional rows in economy. Well, the bottom line is that Emirates' open frustration reflects more than just irritation over another schedule slip. It highlights a broader issue of communication and trust between manufacturer and customer. Yeah, that's a problem, isn't it? Finding out through the media that your aircraft is going to be delayed into 2027, but that could be January or December. No one's really saying at this stage. And of course, it's the ongoing supply chain and synchronization issues, isn't it? That's the problem.
It's a lovely.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest with you, I think this is just a big win for Airbus, because no matter what way you look at it, having these aircraft be so far delayed is just pumping orders into Airbus's backlog, and if Airbus can get aircraft out, you know, there's a lot to be said for being first into the market. I think you see that with the 330 Neos and the 350s as kind of replacing the sort of 75, 76 style aircraft, and yeah, Boeing have a long way to go before they see parity again with Airbus, I think.
It's a lovely, stunning aircraft, though. That triple, I am looking forward to seeing what this is like to not only travel on, but also see, as in done up with a airline's livery. Plus those folding.
Yeah, I mean, it's stunning, but it's only stunning if it actually works. You know.
Yeah.
If it sits on the ground for the next 3 years, it's yeah. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into, you know, getting fleets ready for operations, and this is gonna take some time. Emirates have 80% of the 777-8s, and I think 35-ish% of the 777-9s on order. So they represent a massive portion of Boeing's orders, and if they are kind of pissing off Emirates, for lack of a better word, I don't think Boeing are going to be making much money on these. I think there's going to be some significant discounts.
Well, we'll have to watch and see what happens, and hopefully Boeing will get it right. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I mean, I do kind of say this in jest, because I really do want to see this fly, and I have seen the 777X fly at some various air shows. It is gorgeous.
Yeah,
absolutely stunning.
Oh, anything 777 is gorgeous. It's an incredible looking aircraft that looks
that's an incredible
so
machine.
Much better than the A330. Oh, I'm just saying. That's my opinion.
Boeing versus Airbus.
Yay! Right. Anyway, I've got the next one. I think I've got the next one. I have got the next one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Aviation24.be. This one. JetBlue Airbus A320 makes emergency landing in Florida after sudden 5,000 metre dive with 15 injured. A regular flight from Cancun, Mexico to Newark, New Jersey in the US turned into a terrifying ordeal on Thursday last week when a JetBlue Airbus A320 suddenly plunged thousands of metres in just a few minutes. The aircraft, November 605 Juliet Bravo, diverted for an emergency landing in Tampa, Florida, after what the airline described as a flight control issue. According to FR24 data, the Airbus was cruising steadily at 35,000 feet at around 7 p.m. UTC when, within only 6 minutes, it dropped to 18,125 feet, a sudden descent of more than 5,100 metres. The Pilots declared an emergency, diverted to Tampa International Airport, where the aircraft landed safely at around 2:20 local time. Leaked audio recordings of the radio communication shared on liveatc.net revealed the seriousness of the situation. The pilot saying, "We have at least 3 injuries. It looks like someone has a head injury," the pilot reported to air traffic control. Upon landing, medical teams met the aircraft on the ground. Between 15 and 20 passengers were evacuated and 15 were transported to nearby hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries, according to local media. The US Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, confirmed that it has opened an investigation into the incident, describing it as a flight control issue. JetBlue stated that the aircraft has been taken out of service for inspection, and the safety of our customers and crew and members is our highest priority, as they always say. So yeah, this is not the first time we've seen this happen with an Airbus aircraft. I think, wasn't it a few years ago, there wasn't an A330 had a similar issue?
Yes, there was. I mean, but it just shows you about the importance of keeping your seatbelt well fastened. Now, if you're cabin crew, obviously, and you're operating around the aircraft, that's a different thing, unless you've been told specifically to sit down. But this was clearly unexpected. And I would imagine that a lot of these injuries have resulted from people that were going up to the lav, or that they were didn't have their seatbelt fastened when they were sat down. So, yeah, very fortunate that the injuries, although not great, none were life-threatening, thank goodness.
Yeah, not the best place to be if you haven't got your seatbelt on, especially if you're in the aisle, or if they're doing a drink service, Nev.
Quite, yes.
Yeah.
So, yes. I mean, I always put my seatbelt on. I don't fasten it up particularly tight usually, but enough so that I won't fly out of my seat and hit my head on the ceiling of the aircraft should we run into something unexpected. But yeah, you've got to do it every time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to remember as well that it's not just about your kind of your injuries that you might sustain. If you start flying around the cabin, then you are definitely going to hurt somebody else as well. And I can imagine that there's going to be a few of those injuries due to somebody else not having their seatbelt on. And yeah, it's so important to keep your seatbelt fastened when you are in flight, as much as possible anyway. I mean, even when crew are sitting on their jump seats having meals and stuff, there are some times when they'll be strapped in as well. And of course, on the flight deck, they always have their seatbelts fastened throughout the flight when they're sitting down, so definitely, yeah,
that's the way forward. Seatbelt on. I always do, like Nev said, loosely done up, because you just never know. Right.
Yeah. I'll take the next one.
You got the next one.
Yeah, so Delta pilot says that was close after a go-around at Boston Logan's Airport, and the FAA are investigating. This comes from CBSNews.com. The Federal Aviation Administration is investigating after apparent close call at Boston Logan's Airport Thursday involving Delta Airlines flight that was landing and a Cape Air plane that was taking off. Delta Flight 263 with 284 passengers and 11 crew members on board was originally headed from Paris to New York's John F. Kennedy, but was forced to divert to Boston because of weather conditions in the New York area, according to Delta officials. As the Airbus A330-900neo came in for a landing at Logan at about 4:15 p.m. Eastern Time, air traffic control told the flight crew to go around to keep a safe distance from a smaller plane that was taking off, according to audio recorded by liveatc.net. Air traffic control instructed Delta Airlines to perform a go-around because of Cape Air flight 548 that was cleared to take off from an intersecting runway, the FAA said in a statement. After executing the go-around, Delta said that its flight landed safely and the passengers deboarded the plane normally. The crew followed established procedures and landed safely without incident, an airline spokesperson said. It was not immediately known how many people were on board the Cape Air flight, and the FAA is investigating. It's also not clear how close the two planes got to each other. Air traffic control audio recorded by liveatc.net captured the reactions from pilots on both sides. Do we have the audio?
Yeah, we have the audio. Should we play that now? Yeah,
I think we should.
Let's go.
Delta 263 Heavy, contact Tower 128.8, have a good day.
28 Delta 263 Heavy, mostly. Tower Delta 263 Heavy with you for 4 right.
Delta 263 Heavy, Boston. Tower following Cessna 402 on a mile. Final traffic holds on the crossing runway 4 right, clear to land.
Clear to land 4 right, Delta 263 Heavy.
239, turn left at Hotel Foxtrot, hold short runway 4 left. Air 548, turn left heading 060, runway 15 right, clear for takeoff.
Boston 060, 15 right, clear for takeoff.
Delta 303, contact departure.
Departure 03, good day. American 1410 with you outside of Milton. American 1410 with you at Milton.
Delta 263 Heavy, go around and turn 10 degrees left.
For Delta 263.
Care, go low.
Going low, 38. What the heck? Heading for Delta 263 Heavy.
Delta 263 Heavy, turn left heading 300, maintain 3000.
Left heading 300 up to 3000, Delta 263 Heavy. That was close.
Yeah, man. Not cool. Are we going 060, Care 548?
Care 548, affirmative, turn left heading 060.
Okay, all good. Thanks.
Care 239 over the ground.
Care 239, ground point in.
Ground point in. American 1410, short final.
American 1410, Boston Tower, runway 4 right, clear to land.
Clear to land, 4 right, American 1410.
Care 548, heading 060, contact departure.
060 departure, Care 548.
263 Heavy, contact departure 133.0.
3 Heavy, we got a phone number we can call.
Yeah, do you want us to give it to you when you're on the ground next time, or do you want it now?
I'll take it next time we get on the ground, Delta 263 Heavy. Tower Delta 263 Heavy back with you for 4 right.
Delta 263 Heavy, Boss Tower, Crossway 7, Heavy 777 on a 1 mile final, traffic holds crossing runway 4 right, clear to land.
Runway 4 right, clear to land, Delta 263 Heavy.
And Tower Delta 263 Heavy, when you do have a minute, I know you're busy, we would like that phone number, please, for the go-around. Yes, sir, I'll get you in just a moment. No problem. 263 Heavy, I've got that whenever you're ready.
Yeah, safe to say that that was slightly hair-raising. I got the comment.
Yeah, it's I'm not a fan of intersecting runways at all, but I understand why they have to do it because of different configurations, different wind directions, and all the rest of it. But it is frightening, isn't it, to see some of this? And we've seen quite a lot of it over the last couple of years as well, where aircraft have been cleared to depart. In fact, together, as it's turned out. But yeah, it's worrying, isn't it? Definitely.
Yeah. I think there was actually, I saw a report, there was another one early this week, I think, Nev, another near miss in the US.
Oh, was that? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a great thing to see. We do tend to see a lot of these coming up on the feeds lately. And then luckily, obviously, this didn't have a nasty outcome, thankfully. But
yeah, I mean, I don't think it's an excuse, but there are such huge shortages of air traffic controllers. I mean, in the US, but around the world too. And it's something that really needs to be addressed. It's something that they need to figure out a way of getting a whole lot more people trained in a very short space of time without compromising safety and quality. Richard Adams is asking, is the government shutdown affecting ATC staffing much? I'm not entirely sure. If anyone is in the US that knows the answer to that, that'd be interesting to find out. But anyway, thank you so much to VAS Aviation and Mike Bush over there, who runs that team. Thank you so much for getting all those recordings out and I'd sync them up with some great visuals.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I've been a subscriber of them for a long while and quite often sit and watch the latest ones when they're uploaded, as I'm sure you do as well, John.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's a mechanic, that the guy who runs it, isn't he? He's an aircraft mechanic.
I don't know, but they are very well done videos, I think.
They're incredible.
Yeah.
He's been doing them for a long, long time as well. I'm sure there's a team behind it. Maybe we should see if we can get him on the podcast. What do you think?
Yeah, we should definitely try that. I'll just look at the comment in the talking about fast. Just looking at the chat room, Bill is saying in the chat room the other thing that he notices a lot of the controllers seem to talk awfully fast, which they do. In the US, they do.
Yeah.
Anyway. Right, Nev, you've got the next one, and moving closer to home. I say closer at home to a airport that we all love travelling through here in the UK.
Well, it's 45 minutes up the road for me, but I try and avoid it if I can. But it's on bbc.co.uk, and it says that London Luton Airport will carry out essential runway resurfacing works over about 5 months at a cost of £18 million sterling. The works, starting on Monday of this week, will take place overnight between midnight and 5:45 on weekdays to minimise disruption to airport operations. During this time, the runway will be closed to all aircraft for takeoffs and landings. Neil Thompson, who's the Chief Operations Officer at London Luton Airport, said, "We will closely monitor noise levels throughout the project." The airport said the work was necessary to ensure the continued safety and efficiency of airport operations and to ensure it continues to meet all regulatory safety requirements. It wrote to more than 25,000 households to notify them about the work, which is being carried out by engineering firm Langen. Mr. Thompson said, "We recognise that projects of this scale can raise questions or concerns, particularly around noise disturbance and light pollution. Wherever possible, materials will be reused to reduce both waste and the movement of vehicles." He added that they would like to thank local residents for their understanding and cooperation. Well, last year, the airport carried more than 16.7 million passengers, but that number was expected to rise to 32 million per year by 2043, after the government approved its expansion. That is one of the challenges with having a single runway operation, isn't it? There's no opportunity for moving stuff around. And with the airport going to expand as well, they obviously need to make sure that the runway is suitable. But when you've got a single runway, as they have at Luton, then that's quite challenging when it comes to running repairs, I'd imagine.
Am I right in thinking, Nev, isn't Luton got that big dip in the runway?
Yes, it has. So if you go off the end of the runway in the westerly direction, you're going off the top and you're going downhill very quickly into the former Vauxhall Motors plant. Oh. You don't want to be doing that. No. But that said, I mean, it's actually a very versatile airport. I mean, especially with the Neo aircraft, I remember both Matt from the A320 podcast and Andy has said that with the Neo style aircraft, it just doesn't use up anywhere near as much runway as previous models. So actually, it's a good airport. It has one runway only.
Yeah, a lot of business aircraft fly from there as well. I know when
it's a huge business
when you approach the kind of entrance, the terminal areas, there's a stand area where there's a lot of biz jets that are parked up that you can see the tails of as you approach from the car park side. But yeah, it's an interesting airport to fly from. I have done a number of times, and every time I've been there, Nev, I think there's always some form of building work going on within the terminal.
Yes. I did some very, I mean, this is going back a long way. It's even before EasyJet were at the airport. I used to go there for some plane spotting back in the day. And yeah, I mean, the operation now, it's just, it could not be more different to when I first started going there. And there's the occasional scheduled flight from Britannia, but not much. But most of it was really a holiday airport, holiday destinations. But now you've got all sorts of traffic in there, as you say, big business operation from Harrods Aviation and others as well.
And of course, it was the home of the world famous, world class series on ITV of Airline. If you remember,
it was,
that focused on EasyJet. And yeah, there's still videos on YouTube now. You can actually go back and watch episodes of Airline. If you've not seen it, if you're over in the US and you've not seen the series called Airline, it was like a fly-on-the-wall documentary series based in and around Luton Airport with EasyJet. So it was following the airline. And it was back in the days, Nev, when it was all owned by old Stelios.
Yeah, it wasn't just Luton. I think they did some operations from Liverpool and other parts of the country as well. But yeah, it's a good demonstration of customers behaving unreasonably to check-in and gate staff. Dear. There was some horrific stuff going on there, wasn't there?
Bit before your time, I'm afraid, John. You probably wouldn't remember that series, but yeah, good series. Right, I have got the next one, I think. It's Aviation 2z.com, and headline: Ryanair hiring pirates, hiring pirates to be fair, hiring pilots for the 737 MAX 10s. I'm actually looking forward to flying on one of these, you know. Ryanair is fast-tracking pilot recruitment over the next 3 years as it prepares for the arrival of its first 737 MAX 10s in the spring of 2027. The airline is taking this step to ensure sufficient flight crew availability once Boeing completes certification and begins deliveries. Boeing expects the MAX 10 to receive certification by mid-2026, aligning with Ryanair's planned delivery schedule for the first 15 aircraft. The carrier's strategy aims to balance operational readiness with fleet expansion across its European network, anchored by its primary base at Dublin Airport. Ryanair confirmed that it will invest around €25 million, or $29 million annually in pilot recruitment and training. The focus is on accelerating cadet and first officer intake to build a strong internal pipeline of crew ready for captaincy roles as more MAX 10s join the fleet between 2028 and 2030, Flight Global reported. The airline noted that this initiative will temporarily raise the first officer crewing ratios, but provide long-term stability once deliveries ramp up. The approach also supports Ryanair's policy of developing home growth talent rather than relying heavily on external hiring. Boeing's improved production timeline has reassured Ryanair that it can meet the delivery targets, and the airline is nearing completion of its large order for 210 Boeing 737 MAX 8-200s, with the final 6 aircraft expected to arrive well ahead of the 2026 summer season. During the first half of the year, Ryanair received 23 737 MAX 8-200s, bringing the total fleet of this type to 204 out of the 641 aircraft. The budget carrier continues to streamline its operations around these fuel-efficient jets to reduce operating costs and environmental impact. And Ryanair also reported that the half of the 30 CFM International LEAP 1B engines ordered for operational resilience have been delivered by the end of September. This move ensures better flexibility in aircraft maintenance and availability during peak periods. Now, the few times I've flown Ryanair this year, it's been on the old, stalwart, the
steam
Dash 800.
Yeah.
The old fashionable 800. Yeah, it's normally the Max or the 8-200s as they call them. Generally tend to fly on the slightly longer routes down to the Spanish islands and Malta as well. But the Maxes are nice. I've flown on the Max a few times with Ryanair. Quiet, nicely lit. I don't know what you think, John, as for your particular flying.
Yeah, I haven't actually flown on the Max yet.
Oh.
I was qualified on it, but I've never actually flown on it. And yeah, they've got about 200 of the they've got about 200. Oh, what's my arm doing there? They've got about 200 of the Maxes, and they've got a little over 400 of the 800s. So yeah, still a little bit of ways to go, but they've been doing really well. They posted their half year report how many days ago now? Is it 2 days ago, 3 days ago? And they've kind of boosted their profits by about 40%. And what this increase in production or in deliveries from Boeing is kind of helping them with is getting a capacity onto those high peak times during Christmas. Those when they can put on a whole load of extra flights. So they're projecting to grow by an extra 3% for next year, which equates to a little bit over 1 million extra passengers for this financial year, which will be, I mean, that's huge.
I mean, the MAX 10 sits where the 75 used to sit. Realistically, it's 230 passengers that the MAX 10 can be configured to carry, which is about what the 75s used to carry. I mean, it'll never be a 757. That's no doubt about that. But it kind of fits.
I mean, to the airlines, it'll be cheaper.
Oh yeah,
it'll be a 7.5, but cheaper. I mean, to us who enjoy. I mean, we were talking. Was it last show or the show before that about the 7.5s? And how they were kind of in decline. Not many of them left, but yeah, it'll never compare to that. But for the airlines, it's economically, this hopefully is going to be another miracle aircraft. Whether it will be or not, I don't know. With the amount of costs that have gone into producing this, with all of the various different delays, I think. Going back to the previous story with the 777X, I think Boeing have lost something like $15 billion, billion with a B, in charges just from the various different delays that they've had to the programs, the 73 program and the 777X program. So $15 billion is huge, isn't it?
Yeah. But
I'm sure O'Leary is shaving a whole lot of
he's
whole lot of money off that too.
O'Leary has definitely secured some form of buy one get one half price or buy one get one free somewhere.
Yes, I did notice
the famous.
I just noticed that earlier in the year that he was really beating up on Boeing about lack of deliveries and missed deadlines and all the rest of it. Now, listening to him yesterday and the day before on television, he's far more conciliatory. So obviously a deal has been done somewhere, I think.
Oh yeah. He's got like a Kia sort of 7-year warranty with him or something now.
Yeah.
He said after the 9/11 when he bought a whole load of these the 800s, he said I wouldn't tell my priest what I paid for them.
No.
Anyways, let's move on. Are we on the where are we now? Story 8, is it?
Yeah. Right for you, yeah.
Yeah, excellent. So this is from Reuters.com, and this is kind of breaking news, quite sad news actually. A UPS wide-body cargo plane crashed on Tuesday and erupted into a fireball moments after takeoff from the international airport in Louisville, Kentucky, killing 7, including all 3 aboard, and injuring 11 on the grounds, officials have said. Flames from the crash shortly before sundown ignited a string of fires in an industrial corridor adjacent to the airport, forcing authorities to halt flight operations through the night. The official said the Louisville airport, which is home to UPS Worldport, a global hub for the shipping company's air cargo operations and its largest package handling facility worldwide, was expected to reopen on Wednesday, which it has. 2 runways were strewn with debris from the crash. In a Tuesday night service alert, UPS said delivery schedules for airborne and international packages may be affected by the disruption. Contingency plans are in place to help ensure the shipments arrive at their final destinations as quickly as conditions permit. The triple engine plane was fueled for an 8.5-hour flight to Honolulu. It had a crew of 3, none of which survived, officials said. Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg told reporters at a late-night news briefing that 4 deaths were confirmed on the ground, with 11 injured people taken to hospital. And separately, the Kentucky Governor, Andy Beshear, said the death toll was at least 7 and expected to rise. Some survivors had suffered very significant injuries, he said. It was the first UPS cargo plane to crash since August of 2013, when an Airbus aircraft went down on landing to the international airport in Birmingham, Alabama, killing both crew. Television channel WLKY, a CBS affiliate, showed video of Tuesday's crash with flames visible as the plane took off and the fireball erupting as it hit the ground. Several buildings beyond the runway area were on fire after the crash, with thick black smoke. Bashir said stricken facilities on the ground included a petroleum recycling centre and also an auto parts business. One quick key question for investigators is why one engine appeared to have separated from the plane before the crash. A person briefed on the matter said, pointing to video images and airfield debris. The cause and origin of the fire before the aircraft went down were also unknown at this time. Yeah, that's very, very sad. And quite a horrific event.
As bad as this was, it's been incredible. I think there have not been more fatalities, bearing in mind the amount of fuel on board the aircraft and the speed at which it was travelling. But there does seem to
it crashed into a fuel facility.
Well, quite, yes, exactly. And the fact that there's obviously an engine is separated during the takeoff roll or immediately as the aircraft rotated, or around about that time. So yeah, absolutely horrific.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep you guys posted on what we learn. Obviously, the report's going to take some time, probably about a couple of months for the preliminary report, and then maybe a couple of years for the final report. But hopefully, they can get to the bottom of this. Because it's not good to have engines falling off, if that indeed is what happened.
Yeah, I agree with Ray Davis in the chat room. Hello, Ray, by the way. Good to see you in the chat room. Ray says the footage was absolutely horrific. It was. This is, again, one of those incidents where there's been multiple video streams, video footage of the incident itself. And a lot of the footage that I've seen, which I'm sure you guys have seen as well, is very clear footage, very good quality, high definition footage, which just makes for awful viewing.
I think the death toll has risen as of now, as of about 4 hours ago, and it's looking to be 9 dead, 15 injured, and 16 unaccounted for. So hopefully they can find survivors. I hope that there's good news coming out of Louisville later on today. But yeah,
as Bill says in the chat room, I think everyone's best source of finding out and getting updates on this would be to, if you do or do already subscribe to the NTSB's website and their YouTube page as well. I'm sure they'll have updates on this on their page, on their website, as they always tend to with things like this. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on this and see what is what's found out. But yeah, terrible news. Nev, would you like to take the next story? A bit of nostalgia, a bit of vintage nostalgia for this next story.
Yeah, it's the final story in the commercial news segment, although I suppose it's military, technically speaking, isn't it? But it's on foxnews.com, and it says that the headline says that inside the last Boeing 707 to serve as Air Force One, see Reagan's jet that marked the end of an era. Well, before the gleaming 747s that now ferry US presidents across oceans, there was a smaller, sleeker jet that carried the weight of the free world. The last Boeing 707 to serve as a primary Air Force One, the aircraft that once flew President Ronald Reagan plus 6 other American presidents, now sits under a striking glass pavilion at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in Simi Valley, California. This was the last 707 that was used as a primary aircraft as Air Force One, says David Trulio, President and CEO of the Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute. Subsequent to President Reagan, it was a 747. Well, Reagan flew the 707, tail number SAM 27000, more than any other president, and it remained in the presidential fleet until it was decommissioned in 2001, taking its last flight just 3 days before the September 11 attacks. During his presidency, however, Reagan ordered the modernization of Air Force One to the larger, more advanced 747s as the primary aircraft. The transition from the 707-based VC-137 to the 747 fleet took place in 1990, according to the US Air Force, a year after Reagan's term ended, and expanded the aircraft range, communications capabilities and comfort. Ironically, Reagan himself never flew aboard the newer jets as he had commissioned them, says Trulio. Yet he travelled to 26 countries, covering 660,000 miles aboard SAM 27000, a jet that held roughly half as many passengers as today's Air Force One, which can accommodate about 102 people, according to Boeing. Well, 707 also shuttled Presidents Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton, and George W. Bush. When the Reagan Library learned the plane was going to be decommissioned, it was sought to honour the 40th president's wish to have it placed permanently in the space where he would have been laid to rest. Boeing, the plane's manufacturer, collaborated with the Reagan Library to transport and reassemble the aircraft. The 707 was disassembled and towed to the library site. As the pavilion was constructed, each piece was brought inside and rebuilt within the building itself. That's a lot of work. And also something that I didn't realise. I didn't realise that the aircraft was used up until till 2001. Amazing.
No, I didn't realise that either. But would love to see that in the museum because it looks stunning on the pictures. Absolutely stunning. And the 707, that was probably one of the first commercial airliners I flew on as a child back in, oh my word, it would have been the mid to late 80s, I suppose, with Air Malta. Yeah, incredible aircraft. But yeah, it'd be nice to go and see that in the museum, Nev.
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right, Nev, what's up next on the show?
Oh, it's that time, isn't it? Gosh, our favourite part of the show. Well, apart from the end in many cases. But this is a really good segment. It's called the Retro Airline Ad of the Week.
Extraordinary. Western Airlines, the only way to fly.
If you like people, you'll love New York. Eastern takes care of about 5 million travelers a year here. For many of them, their first contact with us is BT Times. We've just added a $500,000 baggage system to help him out, but it can never do the job he does. The A300 is our biggest new investment. It's quiet, fuel efficient, spacious. But if our crew doesn't make you feel comfortable, it won't matter what plane you're flying. I fly Eastern, but you don't have to. So we have to earn our wings every day.
Oh, my word. Well, that's the first cartoon retro airline ad of the week I think we've ever had on the show. But
I've not seen that before.
One.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think about the brand new A300, Airbus A300?
Oh, those were the days. Mind you, that was a good aircraft. You know, back in the day, that was quite the machine. So yeah. But now they're all most of them are flying for DHL, aren't they? With freighter conversions. So yeah.
Or Ryanair, I think. Ryanair.
Oh yes, you're right. Yeah.
But I mean, they were manufactured up until 2007 or something. I mean, they're not long out of production, all things considered.
Right, Nev, what is up next?
All right, yes. The bit that I have to sit out because I don't understand it, it's the military segment.
And also, John, if you could take this segment, that would be very handy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cheers.
What's up, bogeys? 13550, Angel 16, heading 340. Okay. Undersea bogeys.
Okay, well, the first story comes from aerotime.aero, and it says US Air. Well, I think this is the only story, isn't it, today?
It is, yeah.
Anyway, the US Air Force says it needs 1,500 more fighters to meet future threats. The US Air Force says it needs to grow its fleet by another 1,500 plus aircraft over the next decade to meet national defense requirements, according to a new report submitted to Congress. The unclassified 10-year plan calls for a total of 1,558 combat-ready fighters, up from the current projection of about 1,271 aircraft in the fiscal year of 2026. That's this year. The increase would require faster production of the F-15EX and F-35A jets and a continued modernization of existing aircraft. The report, obtained by multiple defense news outlets and first reported by Inside Defense, was signed by Air Force Secretary Troy Mink, ordered by Congress as part of the 2025 National Defense Authorization Act. It outlines how the Air Force plans to balance modernization with affordability as it prepares for threats from near-peer competitors. The Air Force is focused on modernizing the current fifth generation and legacy fighter aircraft fleets, expanding warfare capabilities, and acquiring new advanced fighter capabilities, the document states. To reach the goal, the service would need to boost procurement and production of both Boeing F-15EX Eagle 2s and Lockheed Martin F-35A Lightning II fighters. The report says Boeing could reach a maximum production rate of 24 F-15s per year by 2027 and up to 36 annually with funding for new facilities. The Air Force plans to buy 129 F-15s in total, with 126 deliveries expected by... Something is not mathematically adding up there. So they're planning to buy 129 in total, with 126 deliveries expected by 2030 at a rate of 24 per year and up to 36 annually. Yeah, that doesn't... maths ain't mathing there. Boeing said the F-15 line will remain open well into the next decade, with both domestic and international orders supporting production, and we are increasing production to meet anticipated demand, said Mark Sears, Boeing's vice president for fighters. Even with the added investment, the Air Force warns that meeting its target of 1,558 fighters by 2035 will depend on consistent funding and production schedules. The report says the expanded fleet is essential to meet global obligations and maintain deterrence as advanced threats emerge. Yeah, somebody at Boeing is not adding up these numbers correctly, because
I was going to say they can't keep up with the production for commercial airliners. They're not going to meet with a an order for fighter jets. I know it's a different kind of branch of Boeing as such, but yeah.
I mean, by 2030, I guess that means from the rate of production is from now. But that seems a bit ambitious to me. Getting the total combat ready fighters up over, close to 300 extra fighters in about, what was the timeline for this? 6 years? 10 years. That's a lot. Considering how much each of these jets cost. What does what's a F-15 go for these days? Anyone know?
Just looking at now. F-15. Here we go. A F-15 cost is between $90 and $97 million per unit.
Oh, that's not bad, actually. I had a total of like 120 to 150. That's what I thought it was going to cost. But how much? I mean, these things cost 5 figures per hour easily, and I mean the per year cost for these runs into the millions.
F-35 is F-35B. $109 million. Oh,
it's not even the B that they're using; it's the A, isn't it?
Yeah, the F-35B, $109 million. F-35A, $82.5 million.
Oh, that's practically a steal.
That is. Yeah. I think they should go back.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
They should go back to the F-16, the venerable F-16. That was the best plane. See, if you get an F-16, you can get one of the later models F-16. You can get those. You can buy one of those now from the Philippines for $5.6 million.
I think we should chip in for one.
Yeah. Jonathan Warner's now going, God, I need to get a loan out. Oh dear.
Or what do we think? Could we get a Harrier? I think that would be pretty cool.
A Harrier? That's not a bad.
Do you remember when Pepsi had that ad?
Oh, to win a Harrier. Yeah.
To win a Harrier, and then somebody took them to court over something.
Yeah, there was a series on Netflix about that, I think. But yeah, here we go. If we'll move on swiftly after this, but if you want to go and buy a new Harrier AV8B2, it will cost you around $32 million. But that was back in the 1980s. Well,
here's the thing. What's a new... Oh, that was in the 80s?
That was in the 1990s, yeah. There are websites now where you can...
I mean, with inflation, that's what? Oh... Is that 160 million or so?
Well, apparently a slightly older Harrier sold in the US not so long ago, and it sold at auction, and this was a flying one as well. This is actually a flying one. It sold at auction in the US for $105,000, which was around about $180,000.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That definitely is doable to Patreon.
We're going to have listeners all around the world flying around in their very own Harriers now. Yeah. Please, if you're listening, don't take a mortgage out and buy a Harrier jump jet. It would be awesomely cool, but not a good idea. But
if we will, Nev promises that he will fly it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I might. If I ever got in it, I wouldn't be able to get out of it. That's for sure, due to space restrictions.
Right, it's time to move on to a section of the show we've not had for a while. It's had a bit of a break, but I actually found a few pictures. I've got one for next week, actually, which we're going to have for next week's show. But I've found a picture for this week, and it's captioned this time, isn't it, Nev? So would you like to tell our listeners, I'll pop up on the screen, what this week's picture is. I shall just pop it up if I can find the... Here we go. For those of you watching,
yeah, well,
on YouTube.
It's a great view of the apron somewhere, but installed are a couple of very well shaped gentlemen's urinals, and as you can imagine, the amount of comment has been considerable when we asked you for caption this just for fun.
Yes. So do you want to kick things off, Nev?
Yeah, so Sandra Fogarty said to have a whiz before boarding Wizz Air.
Stephen Howland says Ryanair are now trialling alcohol levels of their customers' urine substitute as jet A1 fuel.
Richard King says Delta P.
Darren Smith says water salute is available for any retiring pilots.
Mr. Sturman, who's in the chat room, says clever competitor installs urinals after Ryanair pounder charge comes into effect.
Liam says begin jettison procedure.
Andrew Hall says Wizz Air's new premium lounge with runway views, only £89 to upgrade.
Oh yeah, that would be. That's taken the anyway. Stephen Patterson says BA enhance toilet provisions in the first lounge. Nev, would you like this in the first?
Well, he's not kidding. Obviously, I know Stephen Patterson very well, and we both described the toilets in BA's first lounge at Heathrow as a bit substandard, shall we say?
Ray Williams says, a reminder, the first hour of the flight will be bumpy and you'll have to stay in your seat with your seat belt fastened. Yeah, well, I mean, that's a good idea. Have them right at the gate.
Yeah. And Alan White says, a loo with a view.
And very much so it is. Ben Jones comments, uncomfortable seat, 2 out of 10 experience.
I like that. Dirk says, this is a photo of Carlos Stebbing's bathroom in his new house.
I wish.
Wow. David Bone says, and this, gentlemen, is where we learned about and practiced the stick shaker procedure.
Oh,
I thought that was one of the best ones, actually, Dave, if you don't mind.
Oh, well done, David.
Yeah.
Darren Smith says, if you think I'm flying Scoot, then you're taking the... Yes.
Steve Vischer. Oh, great to hear from him. Longest loo break ever.
To be fair, if I went in that loo, I'd probably be standing there for a fair while looking out at that apron. Just saying.
Andrew Hall says plane spotters happy spot. See what we did there?
Kevin William, pre-departure P.
And Paul Tricker says, stand well back. Beware of jet wash.
Yeah, imagine if that window wasn't there. And the aircraft reversed out of the stand and, yeah. Have we got any in the chat room, Nev?
It's a great question. I'm not on the right screen at the moment for that.
So Richard Adams says, the lack of air bridge was really taking the piss. We've got Travelling Man as well. Cleared for landing, but not the kind you think. Who else?
David points out that they do seem quite large. I mean, they are rather substantial sized urinals. Just
yes, for the gentleman that likes showing off. I think
but can I just say, just moving back to the picture again, that these are actually in an airport.
I'm fairly sure it's in Changi in Singapore.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% on that, but I think it is the renovated section of Changi.
Yeah.
It looks like it anyway, from the outside and from the airlines that are there.
Well, next time you're in Changi, John, perhaps you'd like to do a review.
I will try. That'll be the weirdest review that we've ever done on the show, but there you go. What we do for our listeners, huh?
No selfies, John.
No.
Anyway,
I think there are a few airports with something similar. Denver, maybe. But yeah, I'm always positive this is T1 at Changi.
Yeah, I think that's good. But we as I say, we've got another one for next week, which is next week's one's a bit more of a vintage picture. I think you'll like next week's picture, but I'll pop that up on the socials probably over the weekend, ready for next week's show. Thanks for all the comments on the social media. As I said, if you don't already follow us on Facebook, give us a follow on Facebook. Just look for Plain Talking UK, and you can see what picture will be up on there, ready for next week's show. Nev, it's coming up. Well, I say coming up soon. It is technically going to be coming up soon because it's the way this year is going. It's going at Mach. What was Concorde, Nev? Mach 2.
Mach 2 and a bit, yes.
But we have set the date and venue for our 600th show next year. It's going to be a big show. We're planning on doing something very, very big and very special indeed. Nev, what's going to be happening?
Yes, so first of all, you need to know the date. It's Friday the 22nd of May, 2026, which, although that's more than 6 months away, we have to get these things booked. I was at the Imperial War Museum, Duxford, yesterday, and we have been confirmed for the airside suite. And Carlos is going to play a bit of video that I took yesterday, actually, so you can have a quick look at it. The airside suite actually looks out onto the main sort of apron area of Duxford, and it really is nice. It's got a 98-inch telly at one end, which we'll be utilising, and it's got a lovely balcony view as well. We can probably accommodate between 40 and 50 people there, something like that. And it's going to be really good. It's a really nice venue. The event people there are smashing. They were very, very helpful yesterday when I was there, which is fantastic. So let me give you some details about what we're doing and what it's all about. Now, obviously, there's some cost involved with it because, the Patreon doesn't pay for everything, unfortunately. And there is an entry fee of £60 sterling payable to us by the 1st of April 2026 into the PTUK Patreon or PayPal account. You can get the details for that on the Support the Show banner, which is on the front page of our website. And we have to have that money by the 1st of April if you would like to come. The other thing is you get quite a lot for your money because officially it says you get a complimentary 1 hour admission to the museum. Now, 1 hour to go around the Imperial War Museum at Duxford will not be enough. But I did find out yesterday from my host there that they don't actually police that. So just between you and I think you could get a lot more than an hour going around the Imperial War Museum if you want to. So we're going to have a couple of guest presentations, as in previous years. Details to be announced once we have worked out who they're going to be. There's free dedicated parking on site as well, which is really good. Not just in the main visitor area, but in the conference section around the corner, around the back of the IWM. So it's perfect to go into the main area from there, and you can park your cars there. It also includes tea and coffee breaks with cookies, fresh fruit, and a buffet lunch included in the entry price. So, excuse me, what I'm thinking at the moment is that if you want to go around the museum in the morning and then join us for lunch, 12:30, something like that, I would imagine, and then we'll start the show for real at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If you're coming from far away and you want some accommodation, this is down to you to book, but there's plenty of reasonable priced accommodation local to Duxford, and I suggest that you book it early if you require this. As I said, it is down to you to book your own hotel. Carlos and I are staying at the Holiday Inn Express in Whittlesford in Cambridge, and the postcode for that is CB22 for November Lima. That's Charlie Bravo 22 for November Lima. And that's only a 3-minute drive from the Imperial War Museum itself, which is brilliant. Now, the other good thing, which I secured yesterday, is that if you want to join us for dinner, the Red Lion pub is directly opposite this hotel, and they also have rooms available there as well. Dinner is going to be paid for yourself, and you will have to pre-order your food. And I'm just in discussions with the Red Lion themselves as to what the latest date is that they need this information. It's going to be later, obviously next year, but I'll come back to you and let you know. So if you would like to join us for the 600 show, send your request to attend to podcast@planetalkinguk.com. We'll send you a confirmation email after we have received your payment. And can you also let us know if you have any dietary requirements so that we can inform the catering team at Duxford for the lunch. There are limited spaces available. I said before, I think we're going to be into sort of 40 to 50 people maximum. I know some of you have already sent information about your intention to attend, and we thank you very much indeed. Also for the people that have paid already. That's absolutely brilliant. But we do need that £60 sterling by the 1st of April 2026 at the latest. Otherwise, we just can't go ahead because of the cost involved. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be a really good day. And also, of course, in May, the weather will be nicer as well. Although when I was there yesterday, it was actually quite nice. So it was a great view out onto the airfield itself. So I really do hope that as many people as you can join us for what will be a very special 600th show.
Yeah, and hopefully, fingers crossed, John, we are trying to tempt you across to join us for the day.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Kind of depends on whether I can get the leave for it, but it is good because the way my company works with leave, we need to plan it out more than 6 months in advance. So yeah, fingers crossed I can secure that place for leave, and I do intend on attending. So hope to see everyone there.
Yeah.
Is there any information if anyone's flying in? Do you know, or is that something that is that they'll have to? I don't know. That's just
there's no Duxford Air Show or anything like that on that day at the moment. So that is directly with Duxford. So if you want to fly in, I think it's a prior permission required PPR. So you'll have to contact Duxford Airfield directly about that.
Yeah,
excellent.
And yes, Dirk, Tanya did fly into the UK to attend our summer meetup this year, and I think Tanya's also going to be joining us for the 600th next year, isn't she, Nev, as well? So
yes, indeed. And who was it that was just asking in the chat room about the Red Lion? Yes, that was Travelly Man. Yes, I've been to the Red Lion before, previously, but actually it's just under new management now as well, and it's a very decent size pub, and they can accommodate us as well. So I'm just waiting to hear from them about the menu they could offer, and also things like deposit, which we've got to give them, and also pre-ordering food. That's obviously in the future, but we just want to get all this buttoned down as soon as we can.
Yeah,
that is right on the train line, if I remember right.
It is.
Isn't it? That comes from Liverpool Street.
Yep, it's right next to Whittlesford Station, so that comes out of Liverpool Street in London. I think London to Cambridge is the line, isn't it? Probably.
Yeah.
So it's literally right next to the railway line.
Or I think you can get that from Stansted as well, with the same company with Great Anglia as well. So if anyone is travelling to or from Stansted, there is public transport available to, as far as the hotel anyway, or as far as what did you say the town was? Whittlesford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard Adams has just made a point in the chat room, Nev, says that GA landings at Duxford include free museum entry for all passengers.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? How about that?
Yeah. How good is that?
Worth a shout.
I'm
Definitely.
sure. I'm fairly confident. I reckon that our very own Captain Al will probably end up flying in, no doubt, as he does.
Yeah, if the weather's good, he'll probably come down from Liverpool in his PA28, which would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Very good indeed. I am so looking forward to it. It's going to be such a good weekend, and at what is probably one of the best aviation venues, I think, around, Nev.
Yeah, and it's always difficult to try and find the right thing at, the sensible prices. But actually, I think we've come up with, I hope you agree, we've come up with a good solution here. The venue is tremendous. Obviously, it's an iconic venue itself, with the museum being what it is. But more importantly as well, is that all the staff there are very helpful. So I had a very good day there yesterday, being shown around the various things. And there's also plenty of internet as well, dedicated internet for the conference side of things, which means that we can do a live show from there as well, which is also the whole purpose of going, isn't it? So, but yeah, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, love that. Right, time to start to wrap up the show. Nev, would you like to let the listeners know where they can find us on social media?
Yep, so just search the social media channels on Facebook, X or Instagram for Plane Talking UK. You can email the show, as we've already mentioned, podcast@planetalkinguk.com. And please do let us know if you're planning on coming, because I can't do anything that's in the chat room. You have to send us a formal email, because I've got to give names to the venue later next year. The website, of course, www.planetalkinguk.com, and the WhatsApp number, +44 7446 975 214. That's +44 7446 975 214. Many people already subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you do that, you'll get notifications when we go live. Just press the like button if you would be so kind. That always helps with the algorithm, and you can subscribe to the channel as well. Just go to youtube.com and search for Plane Talking UK. As we mentioned before, you can become a Patreon of the show, or you can give us some money by PayPal if you feel so inclined. On the front page of the website is a banner called Support the Show. Please use that for doing that if you have the funds to do so. And also, please use that for paying us for your entry fee for the Duxford 600th show as well.
Yes, it's going to be an awesome time. Right. Ryan, Robin, before we wrap up the show, let's start with you, John, this week for a change. As you have been very good to join us tonight. What's going on in the world of John this week?
Well, this week, it's been steady flying for the last couple of weeks. But as I said before, I was doing a bit of study, doing a bit of an upgrade, and I've been back and forth to Japan, to Ireland a few times, and just kind of getting used to a new role in my job. More of the same, really, but it is a bit of a promotion, which is always nice. And next week's more of the same as well. Just doing some slightly longer flights, and doing a bit of travel, and that is about. I think that's about it, really. I'm kind of getting to the point where it's starting to calm down a little bit, which is nice. It's been a long couple of months, but
you done well.
Yeah,
pat on the back to you, John. Well done.
Thank you.
And Nev, I was going to say any travelling for you, but you kind of retired from travelling.
No, I mean, I get in the car, I get on the train sometimes, but no, actually a much quieter week next week. It's been very hectic this week, quite a lot of stuff going on, just a quieter week. Oh, and of course it's the Brazilian Grand Prix at the weekend. I'm not going, but I shall watch it on television. Very important. Things are a bit quieter next week, so that'll be a nice change actually as well.
Sounds like fun. I've got a very good friend of mine's wedding tomorrow, so having a day off work with my lovely wife Gemma. We're off to a wedding, so time to get the suit out, get the iron out, as you do, Nev. And then the weekend we've got the wedding reception, which will be fun. Bit of dancing and music and stuff. So looking forward to that. And obviously ironing on Sunday, as I love that as well. Actually, I think we're off to a vineyard Sunday. Might have to grab you a bottle of vino, Nev.
Yes, please. Yes.
Yeah. We'll have to do that. Right, that is it for this week's show. Big thanks to everyone who's tuned in the YouTube chat room this evening. All the usual family members in there, plus some new faces as well this week. So it's good. Good to see you in there. Don't forget to tune in next week for the show. I won't be here next week. I am off next week, but I'll be back the week after. But I'm sure, positive, that the team will look after you all well next week. But I'll be back in a few weeks' time. But from me here at home in the home studio, from Nev in his studio, and from John in his studio too, have a great weekend. And Nev, would you like to say the last goodbyes as I press all the buttons here?
Yes. Well, thank you very much indeed, everybody, for joining us tonight. Really appreciate all your contributions, especially to the caption competition. They were very, very funny indeed. Hope you have a nice rest of the week and the weekend. We'll be back on Wednesday of next week at 7 o'clock. In the meantime, bye for now.